Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we just got a new Dev Talk comprehensive weapon and gear balance adjustments preview. So this is going to include the 3 new weapons, the nerfs and the buffs that are coming to running and all of those things, as well as the new Cradle overrides and all types of stuff that we're going to get in our upcoming January 16th patch. So a lot of information to go over. I'll try to keep it short. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing we have here is this Dev Talk. It's a comprehensive weapon and gear balance adjustments preview. So it goes over all of the new gear coming as well as the 3 new weapons that we're going to get. So we'll go down here. So the first one we have is the Critical Pulse. And this thing triggers consecutive power surges to generate orb lightning pulses. So that looks pretty cool. It basically reminds me of what if Power Surge also was a bounce. Now, the only thing that is kind of negative about this is it is a crossbow, so I'm not sure how much we're going to use it. We'll have to see how fast it actually loads. This is something that I am interested in trying, though. Next up, we have the Primal Rage. So this was the weapon that I said was going to be probably good for the new Lunar, since it drains your life, and the lower your life is, the more rewards that you get while killing mobs. They cropped this one a little bit funny, but you can kind of see down below that they're losing life because they've ran out of bullets, but they continue to fire. So I'm not sure like where that stops and then it forces a reload, or how it works, or if it, you know, we'll have to play with the mechanics once it's in, but also pretty cool concept. We'll see how it plays out. The final one they have here is the new handgun, and I know we were all like, oh no, why would you give us another handgun that's unstable bomber? But as you can see, it looks like it turns your handgun into like a grenade, which is pretty cool. So I guess you have left and right, and I can't see this even if I could read Chinese. It's too muffled anyway, but it looks like you can shoot regularly, and then probably when you right click or something, it ends up tossing it like a grenade to do a big AoE explosion. So that's a pretty neat mechanic. Look forward to trying that weapon out as well. And it does give us a little bit more of a variation. And I guess they did it as a handgun because it's probably meant to be like a secondary weapon. So that's cool. Moving on, we've got new armor, unique armor. We've got the Overloaded Pants. It's temporarily going to gain unlimited ammunition after dealing power surge damage a number of times, so that's pretty cool. We've got Charmed Mag Top. When in Fast Gunner status, you have a chance of firing extra bullets per shot, and the less ammunition that you have in your current magazine, the higher that chance becomes. And then we have the Viper Mask, which greatly increases the range of unstable bomber, which also deals increased damage proportion to its range. So that's going to allow it to, sounds like the AoE blast to be a lot bigger. So that's really cool. We're getting a new set. It's a Treacherous Tide set. Now this is the set that we're probably going to want to craft and then set up on our hotbar so that we can switch between outfits. So as soon as the sun goes down, we're probably going to want to put this on. So the first piece is going to give you weapon damage reduction, and that might actually also be something good to have on all the time on like a PvP server because it only takes 1 piece. But then moving on, we've got 2 pieces when your hit points is below 70%, which is going to be probably the entire time during the Lunar Oracle. You're going to gain a buff to weapon and status damage, so that's really great. And then the third piece reduces the effect of sanity on max HP and grants a buff to weapon and status damage that increases as your sanity goes down, which is also something good because the longer the Lunar Oracle goes on, the greater the sanity depletion is, so therefore you're going to continue to have more weapon and status damage. And then the fourth piece, which is super important, is you're going to gain a shield when your hit points is low. So instead of it being like all risk where you have low HP and you got to go out and fight that boss or do the Primal or whatever that you're going to be doing during these lunar eclipses, now you're going to gain a shield. And we don't know how much information we have on that shield as far as what the hit points are going to be, but this gives us another layer of protection. So again, I think we're going to end up crafting these and then just switching to them because they probably won't be great during the day, but at nighttime when we have the Lunar Oracle, they're going to be pretty awesome. They've added some mods. I'm not really going to go through these just because we have a lot of information to get to, but I will link all of this stuff down in the description, or you can pause it. Same thing, they've added new Cradle overrides, so we've got resilience when your sanity is below 30%, damage received from deviants is reduced by 30. And just so you know, when you set up a gear swap change, it not only swaps your gear, but it also swaps your weapons. It swaps the mods that you have on. So some of these mods are like for the new Lunar Oracle. Same thing with the Cradle overrides. So you can set these up to swap as well, so you don't have to have them on all the time, because like Energy Surge here, every 8 seconds at night, deviations recover 1 deviant power. So this is something that you're never going to get use out unless you're doing the Lunar. Same thing with the sanity below 30%, probably just Lunar Oracle. So they do have all of these things, and they will be able to set them up. And once it goes live, or maybe even before that, I will show you, I'll create a video to basically show you how to do that. I know I have one that I've done in the past, but I don't remember which one it's part of, so we'll just make a whole new one. Balance fixes. So here's where we saw all those nerfs and issues with the speed that people were complaining about. They fixed an issue with bounce, where it targeted friendly units. They fixed an issue with ammo replenishment on the tactical combat boots. Here we go. Slightly reduce the damage of Pyro Dino's explosions. So we'll have to see, you know, what that looks like in real life. Increase the Brimidy's chance of triggering bounce, which is good. Increase the damage for Little Jaws receives from its unstable bomber delay. So if you remember my video where I was talking about the differences, how Little Jaws would basically go off the same amount times as like regular Jaws. It was 0.9 versus 15 bullets. The change was basically a wash. But the thing is, the unstable bomber gives you damage based on the time that it takes to go off. So it was like a 0.2 instead of a 0.3 seconds. So you're basically losing 20% of the damage, was 33% of the overall, because you used to have 3. So it looks like they've increased this to make the nerfs not so heavy. So that's going to be nice. Increase the bonus damage the Predator receives for continuously attacking a target. Some stacks will also be retained after switching targets. So again, another one where we identified that there was an actual nerf. Looks like they're going to be buffing those back up. Increase the maximum number of parts that conflicting memories can hit with shrapnel, but then they reduced its shrapnel damage against players. And we're starting to see a lot of this where they're making it so that they don't have to nerf the PvE side of things. They're able to separate out the PvP side. So with the last set of nerfs, a lot of the stuff was like, in PvE it does this, but in PvP it does that. So that's really good. I know a lot of people really want that in the community, because they don't want the PvP messing with the PvE, and then the PvPers, they're just mad all the time because they keep nerfing their stuff. But the good thing is the time to kill goes up, so therefore I think it allows it to be more skill-based PvP, which I think is overall positive. Fix an issue with incorrect bounce parameters and descriptions for the Kumawink and Precision Bounce. So there we have. And then this is the adjustment to movement speed and roll speeds. And it sounds like a lot of this were bugs, and they're identifying it as bug fixes too, because a lot of people were really complaining that, hey, they're going to slow the game down, but it sounds like the issues were that the game was too fast unintentionally. So fix an issue where actual roll of the golden was between 3 and 100. So they dropped that down to 10 to 25. They adjusted the effects. So fix an issue with Stardust Corn Ale's movement speed buff only affected jump height. It's now going to grant sprint speed 20%. So that's good. We're increasing that. Stat display maximum adjustment added the display of sprint speed and roll speed bonuses to the stats panel. So now we're going to actually see what we have. They increased the maximum movement speed bonus from 20 to 30%. They increased the maximum sprint speed bonus from 20 to 40%. They reduced the roll speed from 100 to 60. So to me, it actually sounds like we're going to be moving faster, more regularly than we were before. So it's more of a buff than a nerf. Unless you were taking advantage of things like here, fix an issue, movement speed would become too fast after dashing with the Aero Leap due to the frame rate. And I've seen videos where they're showing like, hey, this is how you do these leap dashes and you could fly across the screen. So all that stuff looks like it's been fixed and adjusted. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I think these are some pretty cool, unique weapons and different items that they're adding to the game. So I'm definitely interested in trying all of these out. This one in particular, the crossbow, I think is going to be pretty nasty if it's got a quick reload, and I thought it looked like it did. So that's it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the changes. Is there any weapon that you're excited for? And as always, if you're interested in more great Once Human content, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to check down in the descriptions for a link to our Discord. We do have a bunch of giveaways that I just put up today that are going to be ending tomorrow. So there's a good chance of getting in and winning something there. So check that out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.